On a frigid winter night, the Dutchman steps out from the warmth of a bustling tavern into the biting cold. The jovial clamor of the tavern falls away as the door closes behind him, leaving him alone with the icy silence of the night. The air is bone-chilling, but the Dutchman, wrapped in his heavy cloak, begins his journey home. His path, a familiar one, skirts the perimeter of the Sleepy Hollow Cemetery. Even though he's walked this route countless times, tonight it feels different. The tombstones appear more ominous, their shadows stretching out like long, gnarled fingers reaching for him. The wind howls mournfully, rustling the leafless trees and adding to the eerie symphony of the night. His heart pounds in his chest, each beat echoing the stories of the Headless Horseman he'd heard earlier in the tavern. The tales told in hushed, fearful whispers speak of a headless Hessian soldier who roams the graveyard at night, a spectral figure atop a ghostly steed. The Dutchman, a practical man by nature, had laughed off these stories. But now, alone in the dark, the laughter feels far away. His mind plays tricks on him, turning every gust of wind into the spectral gallop of a horse, every shadow into the Headless Horseman. He quickens his pace, his boots crunching on the frost-covered ground, his breath forming clouds in the frigid air. His hand tightens around the handle of his lantern, the only source of light in the pitch-black night. Its glow, usually comforting, now seems to cast more shadows than it dispels. His heart hammers in his chest as he gets closer to the graveyard. The graves, bathed in the dim light of the lantern, seem to lean toward him, whispering silent tales of the departed. His fear, now a living entity, seems to cling to him, its icy tendrils wrapping around his heart. In the dead of night, with no moon to light his path, the Dutchman's lantern provides the only source of light, casting long, eerie shadows as he nears the graveyard. The journey home has never felt so long, the shadows never so dark, and the night never so alive with fear. Suddenly, his journey is interrupted by a haunting sight in the graveyard. His heart pounding like a drum, the Dutchman's gaze is drawn to an uncanny light rising from the ground. It's as if the very earth is birthing some spectral entity, a phosphorescent mist that coils and twists, defying the laws of nature. This is no ordinary light, it's an ethereal harbinger of the supernatural, a beacon from the other side. In the blink of an eye, the light transforms, taking on a ghostly form. A horse, large and imposing, materializes from the mist, its eyes ablaze with an otherworldly glow. But what truly sends a shiver down the Dutchman's spine is the rider it bears. A figure, headless, haunting, and horrific. Cloaked in a Hessian commander's uniform, the apparition charges forth, a phantom warrior, riding into the night. The Dutchman's blood turns to ice, his mind a whirlwind of terror. The tales from the tavern, the rumors of the headless specter, they were true. With a squeal of pure fright, he bolts, his feet barely touching the ground. His destination, the bridge, a haven, a sanctuary, a threshold that evil spirits dare not cross. He clings to this belief, his only hope in this moment of nightmarish reality. His heart is a wild beast in his chest, each thump echoing the thunderous hooves of the spectral horseman. The world blurs around him as he runs, his sole focus on the safety of the bridge. But fate, it seems, has a cruel sense of humor. With a sudden stumble, he falls, rolling off the road into a patch of melting snow. The world spins, a chaotic dance of fear and adrenaline, and then the ground shakes. The thunderous gallop grows deafening, a roaring crescendo of supernatural fury. With a heart-stopping scream, the Dutchman watches as the headless apparition thunders past, a chilling reminder of the spectral soldier's eternal torment. The encounter ends as abruptly as it began, leaving the Dutchman alone in the cold winter night, his heart pounding in sync with the fading echo of ghostly hooves. With the ghostly figure long gone, the Dutchman finally dares to emerge from his hiding place. His heart still pounding, he staggers to his feet. Every shadow seems to dance menacingly around him. Every rustle of the wind sounds like the ghostly gallop of the headless rider. Yet he gathers his courage and stumbles onward. His home in the hollow, his only beacon in the darkness of the night. Rattled by the night's ordeal, he finally reaches his humble dwelling. His wife, waiting anxiously, is taken aback by his ghastly appearance. As he steadies his shaking hands with a strong sip of schnapps, he recounts his terrifying encounter. His words, filled with fear and awe, paint a chilling picture of the spectral horseman without a head, galloping through the cemetery under the cloak of night. As dawn breaks, the tale of the Dutchman's strange encounter spreads like wildfire through Tarrytown. The quiet town awakens to whispers of the spectral rider, and the townsfolk gather in hushed groups, exchanging stories and theories. The air is thick with fear and curiosity, as the story of the Headless Horseman takes root in the heart of the town. The good Dutch folk are divided in their opinions. Some, their eyes wide with fear, believe that the ghost must be roaming the roads at night in search of its head. Others, their faces lined with intrigue, claim that the Hessian soldier rose from the grave to lead the Hessian soldiers in a phantom charge up nearby Chatterton Hill, not knowing that the hill had already been taken by the British. The debate rages on, each theory more chilling than the last. Yet, amidst the fear and speculation, life in Tarrytown continues, albeit with a new sense of wariness as the sun sets each day. Regardless of the theories, one thing remains certain: the Headless Horseman continues to haunt the roads of Tarrytown to this day. Each nightfall brings with it the eerie possibility of a spectral encounter, forever etching the chilling tale of the Headless Horseman in the annals of Tarrytown's folklore. The Dutchman's encounter is but one tale among many. The legend of the Headless Horseman has become a cornerstone in the local culture of Tarrytown, a beacon of intrigue that draws in those with a taste for the macabre. Various interpretations have been spun from the original tale, each adding a new layer of mystique to the spectral figure. The horseman's tale is retold at every turn, in every hushed whisper, in every wide-eyed recounting. Its impact is undeniable. Whether it's the thrill of a ghost story told around a crackling fire or the eerie allure of a moonlit walk near the old Sleepy Hollow Cemetery, the Headless Horseman has cemented its place in the hearts of horror enthusiasts. The mystery surrounding this ghostly figure continues to captivate, to intrigue, and to chill to the bone. As the tale of the Dutchman's encounter with the Headless Horseman continues to be told, the legend lives on, forever a chilling part of Tarrytown's folklore.